social media and how this impacts your company, your business, your brand. And so today we're talking about social media campaigns that convert. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to share my screen with you. And again, I'm Neferteri Plessy. Social media campaigns that convert. Get the media clients and partnerships of your dreams. Okay, so it's really important, that we not only create these campaigns, like I said a few seconds ago, but that we really dive into how do we want this to appear on social media? How do we want people to link into the content? Okay. And so social media and PR, turn your friends into fans, right? We want to turn our friends into fans, okay? And so we're going to set up accounts and improve profiles via professional photos and videos. And so, if you don't have you should all have a Facebook, but if you don't have a Facebook business page, I highly recommend you do that. If you only have a Facebook personal page, that's okay, because you still want to prime that page for attracting your clients and your ideal customers. The other thing that I really want you to look into getting besides that is also a Facebook group. And the reason why is because Facebook is putting a lot of thought into pumping more traffic to your Facebook groups. They've been advertising Facebook groups. I even was reached out to by Facebook to do a profile story about one of my Facebook groups, which is Single Moms Planet. We have over 1,200 members in that group it's like a kind of a global community for single mothers. They share their thoughts. They share, I've even seen mothers move in together. They travel together. They open businesses together. We have live content in there. We used to have events that were actually, boots on the ground type events before the coronavirus. We hosted camping trips, all types of things that we've done in this Facebook group. And so people are using their Facebook groups to not only drive attention to their brand or their business, they're also using them to sell their products or ideas or concepts. And they can also help you drive traffic to your website. And you can also build an email list from having a Facebook group. Okay, and so the next one is decide how to promote the campaign on each channel. So you want to really decide, each channel has its own language and voice, right? So you want to make sure that when you're communicating about your particular campaign on each individual channel, that it's not the same tone, right? The way that people talk on Facebook, it's not the same way they talk on Twitter. And the way they talk on Twitter is not the same way they talk on Instagram. So you want to make sure that you're not just copying and pasting and just plastering it everywhere. And then also too, because for instance, like for myself, when I'm promoting something, a lot of times I promote it on my personal page, but I'll also promote it on my personal business page as well as Single Moms Planet. So I want to make sure I don't say, today I went to the store and I got some ice cream. I would say our founder, Neferteri Plessy, went to the store today and she got some ice cream. She really enjoyed it. So you want to make sure you're speaking in the right person when you are going from one account to another account or from one company to another company, and you're identifying with who you are, what your message is, and what you're trying to say in the right tone and structure that is going to match and parallel how people like to be spoken to on these different platforms. And so for instance, like on Instagram, you don't want to have your hashtags inside of your content. You want to have them in your first comment, which a lot of you probably already know that. But if you're just taking the same content that you took on Facebook, well, it's going to end up in your main post for Instagram. Okay, so you want to be really cautious about this because it can turn people off. And it's kind of lazy too. Like people know that you're being lazy. If I go to each different platform and everything looks identical and the same, because sometimes people will follow you on all these different platforms. So you want to make sure that you're just taking that extra step to just, over deliver your content. You got 2 seconds to capture somebody's attention, get them to take an action, read your article, opt into your list. And so take advantage of it. Okay. All right. And so the next one is create a social media content calendar with 4 weeks of content and schedule the post. Okay, so you wanna really dive into this. So I'm gonna actually look on my phone because there is a app that I use, and I also refer my clients to this, and it's called Post Appy. I don't know if I won't show you my phone, you probably won't be able to see it, but POST APPI APPHI, POSTAPPHI. Now, I believe this might be costing me around $20 a month. But the cool thing about it is that you can post automatically to Instagram. I'm like, oh my God, you can post automatically to Instagram, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's such a lifesaver for me. I can schedule all of my content for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I believe they also have LinkedIn as well, and you can create your content in like a week or a weekend, for the whole month, for 3 months, which I really believe in creating batch amounts of content, just taking that extra hour or something like that and just sitting down and just knocking it out versus every day trying to live create. So you're going to want to have this content where you're going to create a social campaign calendar with 4 weeks of content and schedule out the posts, especially if you're doing a social media and PR campaign. Right? You don't want to be making this up. You want to really think about what is the goal, what is the vision, what is the mission of the social media campaign as it parallels with your PR campaign so that you get the results that you want. And when you batch it out, you're able to actually tweak it if you see something isn't going right, right? And you kind of see where something went really well because you're saying, oh, wow, they really like that post. They like that content. Oh, they like that content on Facebook, but maybe they didn't like it on Twitter. Let me switch that up a little bit for the next time I post something, right? So it's a good way for you to see from a bird's eye view what you're doing. And you can also bring your team in to help you. If you have a team, and your team could literally be your sister, your brother, someone that you're actually hiring to help you cultivate this message, right? Sometimes it could be worth it to maybe hire someone to really make sure their message is getting flushed out properly so that when you do go to market with your campaign socially, that people are able to digest it and you get the result that you're looking for, which could be sales, being seen, getting more popular, getting likes, getting follows, doing a giveaway. It depends on what your goal is. And so you'll have to set that within your own business structure. And so the next thing that we have here is monitor and respond. Don't post and ghost your audience. Okay, so monitor and respond. Do not post and just ghost your audience. That is like the worst thing to do. So you put this really cool content out, you tell them to leave an emoji or you tell them to make a comment, and then all of a sudden these people are on there and then you're not, right? You don't respond, you don't say anything, you don't even like their comment, or you just only like their comment, you don't even say something back. Now, there may be some posts that don't necessarily require a comment, but some of them get those people talking, get those conversations going, be thought-provoking, ask them questions. What do you think about this? Oh, wow, that's so interesting that you said that. I totally got that. I never thought of it like that. What do you think about this? Would you try that? Like, get them involved, like say, oh, do you have any friends that would enjoy something like this? Could you tag them? They may tag a friend or two, right? Like, get people involved in the campaign. So set aside some strategic time just to interact after you do a post. Don't just disappear. It looks dead. And especially if you're looking to attract media, or you're looking to attract more followers, or you're looking to just increase your engagement, like, you have to be present. And I'm telling you right now, I would suggest that you don't necessarily have someone that doesn't know your brand. Like, you may want to hire a social media person, but don't just do that, because you may want to have the social media person, but also yourself, because you are your brand, you are your voice, and you want to be a part of the glue that holds everything together. Don't just post something and just think that people are going to get it and you just walk away, or you have someone else do it that doesn't really get your vision and your mission. You want to be present with that, okay? Now we're going to go over creating content that converts, all right? So creating content that converts. Number one, what is the end goal for your PR campaign? How many bloggers, influencers, and media outlets do you want to attract, right? So you want to know what is the end goal for the PR campaign. So you want to work backwards from the end goal into what do you want to actually create within that space? How many bloggers, influencers, and media outlets do you want to attract? You need to know the number so that you can actually know how many you're going to reach out to. So if I want to attract 20 bloggers, or 100 bloggers. There's been things that I've done where I'm like, I want to attract 100 bloggers. Okay, well, I probably need to reach out to 200, maybe 150, and invite them to whatever it is that I'm doing, invite them to participate, ask them, can they write an article? Can they repost what my PR person already wrote? I have a publicist that writes for Single Moms Planet, that writes for my brand, right? And I want them to repost that content. I got to send them the links. I got to follow up. This is a little bit of a system, but if you go far enough out, so let's say you want to launch a campaign. Well, if I were you, I would start 30 days out prior to when it's time to go live. And I would start contacting these bloggers, contacting the influencers, contacting the media outlets, and letting them know what's going on. So you want your press kit and if you're going to do a press kit and you're going to do an actual press release. We talked about press release last month in the PR Business Challenge and creating your press release. If you're going to have your press release, your press kit, well, guess what? You need to have that stuff done 2 weeks prior to reaching out to the bloggers and the influencers, right? And so you want to get to that end goal and then work your way backwards and start from the top and then work your way into it. Give yourself time. Not giving yourself enough time can be a lot of waste of your money. It can also be a waste of your resources and actually just making sure you're having the imprints, because you want to make sure that even when people write about you, you got to follow up, you got to thank them, you got to post a link, let them know you appreciate them, and be present whenever they may need you to also do something for them as well. Post about their events, put their events inside of your Instagram stories or something like that, okay? So the number 2 is align your goal with your PR campaign and outreach strategy. Consistency is key. So I'm gonna read that again. Align your goal with your PR campaign and outreach strategy. Consistency is key. Please make sure that when you are creating your PR campaign and you are creating your strategy for social media, that they all go together. Do not confuse people. They have the attention span of a 5-year-old child. That's how quickly people look at content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's very quick. It's bite-sized. They are not going to sit there and digest your content, especially if they get confused. So you want to be consistent. You want to make sure that whatever you're posting on social media, when they click that link and they read it, it makes sense with where you just started them from. And if they click another link to opt into something, to get on your list, that is still inconsistent. It's consistent with what they just saw each time, so they don't ever feel like, what just happened? Where am I? That happens a lot. If I go from your social media to your website, to a press release, or to some type of article, I need to feel like I never left your world. You're creating a world for them. You're creating Las Vegas, right? So you're Las Vegas, and you don't want people to leave your world. Once I get there, you want me to sign up for your products. You want me to get on your email list. You want me to tell a friend. You want me to join your Facebook group. You want me to go back to your social media and laugh and comment. Well, keep me in your world and keep your world consistent. If you're talking about you are a motivational speaker for caregivers, if I get to your social media and all that I see on your social media is about cats and dogs, and I'm confused. I'm going, what happened? You just lost me. And you could have lost a sale, right? You could have lost a sale. Keep it consistent. Don't go off note. Don't assume that people get it. If you actually take off the fact that you feel like you know your business and just say, hey, I'm a new person, I've never seen this company before, how would I react to it? Like, start from there. Let your mother see it. Let your grandmother look at it. Let someone that's super neutral look at what you're doing to make sure that you're on the right track, okay? All right. And so number 3 is your social media campaign should be a mini look into what your offer, service, or products are about. Your social media campaign should be a mini look into what your offer, service, or products are about. Promote your end goal. Promote from your end goal, right? So promote from your end goal, okay? So you have to know what your end goal is. That was number one. What's your goal for the end of your campaign? And then by the time you get back to number three, you want to know what your end goal is still, because you're always going back to your end goal, right? And so it's a mini look into what would happen if I was to work with this person? What would happen if I sign up for their online event, right? I want to get a taste of it. So you may have testimonials. You may have little snippets from your press kit. You may have a little bit about who you are. You may have a live video when I get there. You know, like draw me into who you are. Like get me pumped up, get me excited so that I'm already vested in you before I even sign up, right? And then when I sign up, you need to continue to keep that relationship with me, right? You need to continue to keep me vested. So send me an email every week, every 2 weeks, once a month. Do something. Don't do all this efforting. And then at the end of the day, you totally disappear and you ghost me. I was like your fan and I was headed to be your number one fan. And then you just do not communicate with me ever again. I'm totally lost and I loved you and then you're gone, right? And so that's how people feel when you create these relationships. And then think about it, you spend all this time, you may even spend money, and then you turn around and then you're gone, right? And so you don't want to do that. Continue to create the relationships. Continue to really make sure that you are connecting to your audience consistently. All right. And so this is our legacy builder. So this is the legacy builder that I want you to think about and I want you to take home tonight after, this is over. Really think about this. Ask yourself, can you pass on your social media to your business as a part of your family legacy? I'm gonna read it again. Ask yourself, can you pass on your social media to your business as a part of your family legacy, right? So if you're saying you're in business and you're putting all this time and effort into your social media, can you hand this over to your kids? Can you hand this over to a relative or a loved one? Can you hand this over to a board of directors? What are you building? Build something that people can live into with and without you. If you are building a business, build it to sell. Build it like you were selling it from day one. You're going to structure that business in a different way that many people just don't even consider. Do not build yourself a job. Build a legacy and build a business. I know that social media sometimes can feel overwhelming, but it is a part of the process. You don't have to overpost. You don't have to go overboard with the posting. Some people post 3 times a day. Some people post once a week. But whatever you do, be consistent and have a rhythm and show up. Show up for your audience. Show up for your people. They are rooting for you. They want to be your fan. Turn your fans into your friends and turn your friends into your fans. But to do that, you have to consistently show up.